This is News 8 Now, this morning.
It's not the first time around she's abused children, and it needs to stop. No other child should endure this or any type of abuse. And that's why we're going to keep his name alive, Justice for Alex Xavier.
These parts where we come in and have to close the park down to perform this maintenance is very necessary, not only for public health and safety, but just to ensure that we're able to continue to do it in the future.
Brenda's the kind of employee that makes the day go good. Complete confidence in the kind of work that Brenda does. To watch her serve our veterans is an honor. She does a great job.
Good morning, everyone. That was your morning eye-opener. I'm Sophia Pullman.
And I'm Derek Sibley.
It is Wednesday, May 31st. We had a beautiful day yesterday. I think we'll have a pretty good day today. A little rain in the
Yeah, a
forecast.
little rain here and there, not too bad. We do have some slim rain chances in the forecast today, and then once again tomorrow and the next day, but something we'll keep our eyes on. Summertime weather here really across the Coulee region is what can be said here, but just a few passing clouds right now is what we're tracking here for you. A couple of light stray showers and storms across portions of northern Iowa, but other than that, that's really about it here. Not really much to deal with here this morning across the area as you get ready to head out the door this morning with current temperature readings into the 60s greeting you here. 62 in La Crosse, 59 in Eau Claire, 63 Winona. Temperatures are into the 40s, however. Sparta, Black River Falls, much cooler start here for you. Prairie du Chien 56. Here's a look at the planner. Lots of sunshine, slight chance of a shower here later in the day. Afternoon temperatures rising into the upper 80s to low 90s. Definitely going to be a hot, steamy day today with that southerly wind at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Allergy report here is medium for everything, so expect the grass and pine pollen to aggravate those allergy symptoms until we get some rain here. And as you can see, those medium indices here for today and tomorrow on the medium side. Stay with us, though. I'll have a check on your full weather forecast plus your schoolcast coming up in a few minutes. Sophia?
Thanks, Derek. Let's get to some news this morning. Dozens of protesters rallied outside the La Crosse County Courthouse. They're calling for justice in the case of 6-year-old Mederi boy found dead in his home in February. The protesters come as 31-year-old Josie Dykeman faces multiple charges, including intentional homicide for the death of young Alex Xavier Pedron. Pedron's grandmother organized today's protest and says more will come as the case moves through the courts.
It's not the first time around she's abused children, and it needs to stop. No other child should endure this or any type of abuse. And that's why we're going to keep his name alive, Justice for Alex Xavier.
District Attorney Grenke says Dykeman has been charged with child neglect twice before. Dykeman is being held on a $1 million cash bond and is in court today for a preliminary hearing. A teen accused of first-degree intentional homicide appeared in La Crosse County Court because of a bond violation. 19-year-old Sage Hickey was on Zoom in court. According to online records, a citation was filed in Juneau County for underage drinking last Tuesday, and being in Juneau County was a violation of his bond conditions. Judge Elliot Levine warned Hickey during the hearing.
I'm glad it sounds like there's discussions going on, but until it gets resolved, you cannot violate these rules. I'm telling you one more time, if I see anything come across, it's going to likely issue a capias.
Hickey is accused of killing and shooting and killing 15-year-old Storm Von Droschek last summer. Hickey claims it was self-defense. He's out on a $10,000 cash bond. La Crosse's Assemblywoman and state senator are calling on the state's Joint Finance Committee to stop a proposed cut to food assistance programs. Democrats Jill Billings and Brad Pfaff say the GOP-controlled budget draft has cut $30 million in grants that support nonprofit programs like Wafer Food Pantry. Wafer's director says the pantry is already seeing about 150 more families a month needing help compared to last year. The proposed cuts, coupled with fewer local donations, could put the pantry in a difficult spot.
I would like to be able to maintain what we have been able to do, but we're just spending more and more, and with inflation, our prices are up also. The full legislature has to vote on those proposed cuts.
Pfaff says it's not too late for the legislature to put that money back in the next budget.
I fully intend to continue to push to get this money reinstated because I think it's a win-win. It's a win-win for our family farmers. It's a win-win for our consumers. It's a win-win for our local communities.
Wafer Food Pantry says they will continue to try and provide the best food choices for their community. Our May hometown hero belongs to Brenda Worthington, a food service worker at Thomas VA, serving our veterans not just good food, but love and compassion too.
Brenda works hard for not only veterans, but people in general.
Thomas VA offers services to veterans through care and respect for one's physical and spiritual health. If you ask the vets in the Spirit of Freedom Dining Hall, you'll find a hidden gem. A hometown hero.
You interact with the vets every day.
Oh yes, that's the best part.
Brenda Worthington is just doing her job.
Brenda's the kind of employee that makes the day go good. Complete confidence in the kind of work that Brenda does. To watch her serve our veterans is an honor. She does a great job.
Brenda was nominated by her granddaughter Tegan, who is constantly learning by her grandmother's example.
My grandma helps everybody. She helps her family, her friends, and the vets, and she's just an awesome person.
Brenda was shocked and honored and will continue to lead by example by helping our vets.
We have a lot of talks about helping and being kind and what you can do to make somebody else's day a little better. And you really can, you know.
In Tomah, Wisconsin, Sophia Pullman, News 8 Now. If you know a hometown hero like Brenda in your community and would like to nominate them, you can find an application on our website under Hometown Heroes. La Crosse students were able to submit their works of art or writing for the first ever Never Again Reflection Contest, a contest that connects what students learn about the Holocaust with problems in the 21st century. The Maureen and Robert Freeland LPEF Fund awards grants to winners of the contest to help further their education. Robert Freeland says that by educating the younger generation about the Holocaust, he hopes it helps them become better people.
Whether it's on a little level of bullying, whether it's about respecting people's differences and being aware when other people express hate instead of love. That's what it's all about.
3 La Crosse students received first place prizes at the contest. 2 of the winners said that this event allowed them to learn valuable lessons.
I think it was important because if we don't learn about the past, then we're going to make a future that just repeats itself, and that's not going to be good.
The contest had 53 entries, and the winning submissions will go on display throughout June on the first floor of the Hogan Administrative Center. The city of La Crosse is closing Cameron Park and Burns Park this week. The Parks Department says both parks will be closed 10 a.m. today through Friday for maintenance, cleaning, tree inspections, and park repairs. Cameron Park has especially seen an influx of people living unsheltered. City officials have given those people a 48-hour notice of the temporary closures. The Parks and Rec Director says the closures are necessary to keep the parks in the best possible shape.
These parts where we come in and have to close the park down to perform this maintenance is very necessary, not only for public health and safety, but you know, just to ensure that we're able to continue to do it in the future.
The department says they plan to open Cameron Park back up on Friday afternoon in time for the farmers market to go on as usual. The Coulee Region Humane Society has opened its doors for visitation so the public can join in on their Pity Palooza. This week, the shelter is allowing people to come in and check out available animals. During the Pity Palooza promotion, all pit bull-like dogs will be available at half the normal adoption fee. The Humane Society has 9 pitties ready for adoption right now and will have more by the time the promotion starts. Leaders say each dog is ready for a new home.
Some of our pit bulls that we have currently make great family dogs, great with kids, great with other animals. And then, you know, like any other breed, some of the pit bulls that we have right now do need more specialty homes, like to be the only dog in the home or an adult-only home.
The public is welcome to come see the pitties as well as other animals this week. Visitors can stop by from 1 to 4 in the afternoon. The visiting hours are temporary and will only run through Sunday. If you want to meet a dog one-on-one, you must submit an adoption application and make an appointment. If you're looking for a new adventure next weekend, Saturday and Sunday marks Wisconsin's annual Free Fun Weekend. Everyone can get into the state's 50 state parks and 15 state forests without a pass. You also don't need a fishing license during the 2 days. State parks and trails will be open from 6 in the morning to 11 at night. The DNR has more information about fishing clinics and regulations that will stay in place on its website. Still ahead on your morning news, we'll have some tips on how you can save money when hosting a summer party. And we have answers to some of the questions about Minnesota's new paid family and medical leave. That and more coming up this morning. For now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. Today is World Parrot Day. These beautiful birds are best known for their exquisite colors and their ability to copy what a person says to them. Currently, there are about 350 species of parrots around the world. Nearly half are endangered, and 1 in 4 are critically endangered. World Parrot Day is set aside to celebrate conservation efforts as well as these beautiful birds. Don't go anywhere. Your consumer news at News 8 Now this morning after the break.
Welcome back, everyone. Just a few passing clouds here for us to deal with this morning, and your dog walking conditions will continue to look nice as you head out the door with lots of sunshine throughout the morning and the afternoon and also into the evening hours with current temperature readings into mainly the 60s. Some spots like Black River Falls and Sparta into the 40s this morning. Further south in areas like Prairie du Chien and Basketball waking up into the 50s, however. Now for your zone forecast today, I am expecting a pretty hot, steamy day as high temperatures will be into the low 90s in many spots in La Crosse County today. As we head further south, 87 today in Viroqua, but 90 to the west in New Albin. We're looking at high temperatures reaching 89 in Trempealeau today and a high of 90 in La Crosse, 90 in Black River Falls, and even the upper 80s to low 90s can be set across the Chippewa Valley today with a high of 90 expected here for you in Eau Claire. For your bus stop forecast this morning, 64 degrees, lots of sunshine. On the way back home, we will be looking at temperatures warming up to 88 degrees this afternoon under mostly sunny skies. Stay with us. I'm going to have a check on your full weather forecast coming up in a few minutes. I'll let you know if we have any rain chances that could be on the way later on this week.
In your consumer news this morning, today the U.S. House of Representatives is set to vote on a bill to raise the country's borrowing limit. The measure barely cleared the House Rules Committee yesterday with a vote of 7-6. Both the White House and Republican House Speaker Kevin McCarthy have expressed optimism that their deal can become law by June 5th, despite some lawmakers voicing opposition to it. A New York federal appeals court has issued a ruling to shield the billionaire Sackler family from lawsuits related to their business, Purdue Pharma, and its role in the drug OxyContin played in feeding the opioid crisis. The family agreed to pay around $6 billion as part of the settlement. The company will also restructure and use some of its profits to fund treatment and other programs to fight addiction. American Airlines says it canceled 0 flights over Memorial Day weekend. In a statement, it says its mainline operation ranked first for completion. However, its regional carriers canceled 34 flights, but those were mostly due to weather. American is the world's largest airline in terms of workers. The positive news follows travel meltdowns at multiple carriers over Christmas and last Memorial Day weekend. As Memorial Day marks the unofficial start of summer, many people are gearing up for outdoor parties and celebrations. However, with the rising costs of food, beverages, and entertainment, it's important to find ways to save money without sacrificing the fun. Here's 5 money-saving tips for your summer parties.
Whether you're planning a backyard barbecue, a pool party, or a picnic, how do you make the most of your summer celebrations without straining your budget?
Food and home decor and entertainment. Those would be the 3 big areas to watch your budget and really rack in the savings.
Jessica Allen from Living Well Spending Less has these 5 valuable tips to help you save money on your outdoor gatherings this summer and still have a blast. 1. Make a menu plan and create a budget. Before heading to the grocery store, check what you already have at home, and then make a shopping list and stick to it.
So just plan your menu and, decide what your non-negotiables are.
2, shop smart. Buying in bulk is a cost-effective option. Also look for discounts, sales, and coupons to get the best deals on party essentials. 3, ditch expensive party decorations. Get creative, make your own. Look for inspiration online or at local craft stores.
Grab $5 or $10, head to your local discount store, grab a couple of big bright beach balls and just toss them in the yard. The kids will love it, the grown-ups will too.
4, don't splurge on outdoor furniture. Instead, clean and spray off outdoor spaces and add some fresh plants to give a fresh look. And finally, entertain on a budget. Instead of hiring DJs, create a playlist of your favorite summer tunes.
People will probably not remember 100% what you put on the table. They will remember the spirit in which you hosted. They will remember the fellowship and the fun that they had when they were in your space.
A bonus tip, embrace potluck parties. Instead of bearing the entire financial burden of providing food and drinks, consider hosting a potluck party. Invite your guests to contribute their favorite dishes or beverages. That's it for your morning consumer news. Let's check in with Derek in today's forecast.
All right, thanks so much for that, Sophia. We are looking at just a few passing clouds out there this morning from CityCam 8 in downtown La Crosse. Current conditions in La Crosse at 62 degrees for our temperature. Slightly warmer downtown by 2 degrees at 64. Southeast winds at 7 miles an hour. Picture perfect visibility conditions at 10 miles. So very good there for your driving commute there. 59 degrees with clear skies now being reported in Eau Claire. Visibility also coming in crystal clear at 10 miles. North-northeast winds pretty light at around 3 miles an hour. Current temperatures across the region into the 60s outside for many spots. We're seeing 40s in Black River Falls and Sparta, and also into Volkfield here as well. 63 in Viroqua. We're seeing the 50s though down south in Prairie du Chien and the Boscobel areas this morning. Look at the forecast highs today. A very steamy hot day today as highs will climb into the upper 80s to low 90s. All under a mix of clouds and sunshine throughout the day. 84 degrees at noon followed by 89 degrees by 4 o'clock and then 83 and just a few clouds here. Partly cloudy by 8 o'clock this evening. We're pretty much quiet here in the Coulee region. A couple of light scattered showers and storms across portions of northern Iowa and back towards the west. We're watching a couple of troughs of surface troughs of low pressure that is creating a little bit of a conditionally unstable environment, causing some cloudy skies and a couple of light showers and storms across portions of the central and southern United States. But zooming in closer to the Coulee region, just a few clouds. We got an east to southeast wind motion that we're currently working with right now, and we may see a few clouds here develop as we progress throughout the morning hours, but nothing too significant here. Some showers and storms back to our west. They shouldn't bother us though as we progress throughout the day. Only a slight chance of a shower is possible here, and by 11 o'clock we can say the same thing near the La Crosse and Viroqua area. By 5 a.m. maybe a slight chance of a shower here, mainly towards the north along the Chippewa Valley with a few clouds here as well. And by tomorrow afternoon, just a mix of clouds and sunshine. Those temperatures into the 80s, working off that southerly wind, and we will be looking at some stray pop-up showers and storms here that could become possible late tomorrow afternoon and also into the early evening, and they should clear out here as we head into overnight tonight. As we head into early tomorrow morning, we'll start off on a mostly clear note with temperatures into the 50s and 60s and an east to southeast wind breeze. Here's a check on your 8-day forecast. We'll keep those shower and storm chances in the forecast through Friday, and then we should get a break here, it looks like, this weekend with a slight chance of thunderstorms as we head into early next week on Monday, with highs mainly into the mid to upper 80s. Some spots though could reach the low 90s, certainly a chance of that. Low temperatures mainly in the 60s. All right, stay with us. We're back with much more news and weather still to come on News 8 Now this morning. We're taking a quick break with a look at what happened on this day in history for May 31st. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Morning Blitz. We had a packed Tuesday, so let's waste no time. High school softball in Wisconsin was in the sectional semifinals, which meant the Blair Taylor Wildcats were just 2 wins away from making it to state. And they could get a step closer with a win over Osseo Fairchild. Scoreless in the bottom of the first, Wildcat senior Lexi Lofgren with a grounder to center. 1 run scores, Wildcats take the lead. Top of the second, Lindsay Steen collects 1, 2, 3 strikeouts to retire the side she was dealing. Bottom half of the frame, Anna White with a single down the right field line. The home team's going to extend their lead. Blair Taylor now up 2-0. Top of the third, and I'm sounding like a broken record. Steen strikes out the side again. She would collect 9 strikeouts in 4 innings work. Bottom half of the inning, Lydia Fredrickson with a base knock to shallow center. Wildcats extend their lead as Blair Taylor goes on to win 6-2. They'll face Stratford Thursday in Blair Taylor. And at Holy Cross Seminary Field, Aquinas baseball hosting Poyanet. The Blue Golds have a deep pitching staff, and Will Dietz got the start yesterday. Here he is with a strikeout for the first out of the game. And then he's going to get his defense involved. A ground ball to short. Eddie Peters flips it to Cole Keppel, over to Kyle White for the 6-4-3 double play. Inning over. And then the Aquinas offense would go to work. Hargrove with a line shot to left field. He's into first with the Blue Golds' first hit of the game. And then a few batters later, Tanner Peterson is going to drive in the first run of the game. A line drive into center. Hargrove comes around to score. Aquinas would go on to win 10-0. They'll host Whitehall later tonight. And in Onalaska, MVC rivals squaring off on the diamond in regional playoff action. The Hilltoppers hosting the Holman Vikings. Top of the second, Hilltopper starter Adam Skifton was dealing. The junior gets the punch out. Vikings go down in order. And then in the bottom half of the inning, Onalaska gets on the board. 2 on for Xavier Lawrence, and he's going to get the job done. That's deep enough for a sac fly. Caden Pierzna races home. Hilltoppers strike first. It's 1-0. But in the third, Vikings answer right back. Bases full for Jared Roddering, and the senior comes up clutch. 2 runs are going to score. A 2-run single for Roddering. Holman puts a 3 spot in the third, and that was more than enough for the Vikings senior Kyler Wall. The lefty was on a mission. Wall gets the Hilltoppers in order in the third, and then in the fourth, he's going to get some help from his defense. Great stab at third, and that's going to be a 5-3 double play. Holman wins 4-1. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
Breaking overnight in India, a 16-year-old girl was brutally murdered in public, sparking renewed outrage over violence against women in the country. A surveillance camera video shows the moments before the girl was stabbed and bludgeoned to death in a busy alleyway Sunday as multiple people walked by. The incident is just the latest in a long line of killings and rapes of women. South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff have identified an object thought to be part of the failed North Korean space vehicle launch. The object seen here was spotted in the Yellow Sea, about 200 kilometers west of a South Korean island. North Korean state media reported the country's space agency had launched a planned military satellite earlier that day. The launch failed, however, when the new satellite's vehicle rocket crashed into the Yellow Sea. A Maine state trooper shot at a truck driver near the northern U.S. border crossing on Interstate 95 in Holton. State police report a trooper saw a sign on the vehicle that indicated an explosive device may have been on board, but the vehicle did not pull over. They also say the driver refused to get out of the vehicle and instead moved his truck closer to the Canadian side of the border. That's when a state trooper fired a shot. He was not injured and eventually surrendered. 5 people are unaccounted for after a partial building collapse in Davenport, Iowa. 2 people could still be trapped in the rubble. Part of the building fell on Sunday night. 9 people have been rescued so far. Protesters are gathering to oppose the demolition of the building, saying those people could still be alive and pets are trapped inside. A new state law grants nearly all Minnesota workers paid medical and family care leave. Esme Murphy breaks down how it works.
There were cheers as Governor Tim Walz signed one of the most impactful bills to come out of the jam-packed legislative session, paid family and medical leave. Some lawmakers have worked on the issue for more than a decade.
Paid family and medical leave benefits every single person in this state.
We thought we'd answer some of the many questions that people have. First, when does this bill become effective? January 1st, 2026. Who does this bill cover? Nearly all private and governmental workers, both full-time and part-time. What does this bill provide? Well, it provides 12 weeks of medical leave, including for a pregnancy. It provides 12 weeks of caregiver leave. It provides 12 weeks of parental leave. It provides 12 weeks of safety leave for anyone experiencing something like domestic violence. And it provides 12 weeks of deployment leave for anyone dealing with the deployment of a loved one. How much will I be paid? Lowest earners will get 90% of their weekly salary. Highest earners will get about 55% of their weekly salary. How much will I pay in? Well, starting in January of 2016, workers that earn about $50,000 a year will pay just about $4.33 a week. Workers that earn $100,000 a week will pay about $8.65 a week. Who would oversee and pay my benefits? The state of Minnesota through a new state insurance program.
Private companies will have to offer this leave to their employees. They can opt not to pay for it and have the state program pay for it instead. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz signed a bill legalizing marijuana for adult recreational use. The bill legalizes recreational marijuana for anyone over the age of 21. Effective August 1st, Minnesotans are allowed to possess, use, and grow marijuana at home. Under the legislation, Minnesotans who have been convicted of misdemeanor or petty misdemeanor possession would get their records cleared.
We've criminalized a lot of folks who are going to start the expungement process on those records. We have a situation where buying cannabis on the streets is dangerous with the things from fentanyl to xylazine to the other things we're starting to see show up. It makes sense to have that.
Governor Walz was joined by former Minnesota Governor Jesse Ventura, who is famously known for being pro-cannabis back in the 90s. Ventura says cannabis cured his wife of severe seizures when she was battling epilepsy, and that this is a huge win for Minnesotans.
After years of prohibition, we didn't want any families to go through what the First Lady and I went through. We don't want anyone to have to ever do that in Minnesota. Now, today, they will never have to.
The signed bill makes Minnesota just the 23rd state to legalize marijuana for adults. Wisconsin Republicans are introducing a bill that would increase the penalty for performing an abortion. It would also clarify medical procedures that don't qualify as abortions. Democratic Governor Tony Evers is almost certain to veto the measure if it gets to his desk. He has already promised to veto another GOP bill that creates expectations for rape and incest. Farmers are the lifeblood of our hometowns, but the recent dry spell in southeast Wisconsin is taking a toll on their crops. Michelle Fiore reports from Waterford, as the only thing growing right now are farmers' concerns.
We're in Waterford at this 2,000-acre farm where corn and soybean planted less than a month ago are having a tough time in soil that looks more like rocks.
Yeah, so if you dig down here a little bit, you can just see it is just dry.
The Melchine family farm's been here since 1854. With no irrigation, their success relies solely on the weather.
We're the ultimate gamblers in the sense that you put a lot of money out in the field and you hope Mother Nature blesses you with a little bit of rain.
This year's blessings are slow to come.
It's been a challenging spring overall.
It's a spring with some chilly weather and now not a lot of rain. Blessings for them are advances made in farming genetics, keeping their crops alive.
Soybeans are essentially at a standstill right now. And that's what the genetics have done, is they allow the plant to just survive, waiting for that rain to come. We're just entering a very crucial time to get some rain. Otherwise, we're going to start cutting into what the potential yields are.
Farmers all across southeast Wisconsin are feeling the effects.
We do have some acres that we have to plant corn yet into, and that's going to be a challenge because the top 3 inches are pretty dry. And you need moisture for that corn seed to germinate. So we have to work the ground up. We usually do that anyway to plant seeds into the ground, but it will be a little harder on the machinery to break that crust and get the ground worked up enough so that we can get seed into the moisture and into the ground.
Well, rows of corn are popping up despite the dry spell, but this little seed, all dry in the middle, didn't make it.
Here's Derek to tell us what to expect in our morning commute.
All right, thanks for that, Sophia. Just a few clouds that we're working with here this morning. A few showers and storms across northern Iowa, but those are not bothering us by any means. We're looking at temperatures into the 50s, 60, 62 in La Crosse, 59 to the north in Eau Claire, 49 though in Black River, or Sparta, I should say. Black River Falls, speaking of you have warmed up since then into the low 50s. All right, so the forecast overall today, 90 degrees, very hot, partly cloudy skies, and south-southeast winds at 10 to 15. Now for tonight, temperatures dropping to 66 degrees. That's still unseasonably warm, however, at night for this time of year, and mostly clear skies. South-southeast winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour. And for your mowing forecast this morning, 69 degrees. It's probably the time to do so because as we progress through the day, our temperatures will only rise to the mid-80s by noon, followed by 90 degrees at 5 p.m. with a slight chance of a shower or storm. So the earlier the better to go ahead and do some outdoor mowing. But stay tuned. I'm going to have a check on your full weather forecast in just a few minutes after the break. We'll talk about some upcoming potential rain chances that we could be working with. And also coming up in our Buzz Report, a new documentary takes a look at the actor who played Freddy Krueger in The Nightmare on Elm Street. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Skies this morning off to a mostly clear start, as you can see behind me there from City Cam 8 in downtown La Crosse. Current temperatures at 62 degrees, visibility looking nice at 10 miles. Southeast winds at 7, Mississippi River 8.26 feet, and that is dropping. Meanwhile, to the north in Eau Claire, 59 degrees here with some clear skies. North-northeast winds light at 3 miles an hour. Chippewa River Stage is at 759.5, and that is dropping this morning. Current temperatures across the area into the 60s mainly. Some spots like Sparta at 49 degrees. Black River Falls, you have warmed up since last time we checked on you. 51 there, 64 in Viroqua, 57 now in Prairie du Chien. So the forecast highs today, a very hot and steamy day expected as highs will climb into the upper 80s to low 90s. In fact, I'm expecting a high today in La Crosse of 90, even warmer than that in Eau Claire today. You'll be looking at a high of 91 degrees come this afternoon. 84 degrees and mostly sunny by noon today. 4 o'clock, 89 and mostly sunny still. A few clouds here as we head to the evening hours, temperatures at 83 degrees. So a few showers and storms across portions of northern Iowa at the moment. Also watching a couple of surface troughs of low pressure back towards the west. And you can see some cloud cover and showers and storms kind of working off that system, and also not to mention a warm southerly air mass helping to fuel some of those showers and storms, but really not here. Looking pretty dry. Got an east-southeast wind motion that we're working with. A few clouds here across the area this morning, which will continue here for the most part. You can see on Sky Tracker, portions of our western communities may look slightly on the cloudy side here around 10 o'clock this morning, followed by the clearing here around 5 p.m. A couple of light scattered showers and storms here just off to the west of us. As we head into tonight, a light shower or two portions for our southern communities, and then kind of drifting north with a few light showers here across portions of the Chippewa Valley with just a few clouds here for the rest of us here tonight. Heading into the day tomorrow, mostly sunny, slight chance of a shower here certainly possible, but better chances of scattered showers and storms, however, as we head closer towards that late afternoon to early evening mark with temperatures still pretty warm into the low 80s by the evening hours. And then overnight, everything should come to a close. Easterly winds here tomorrow morning with temperatures in the 60s under mostly clear skies. Your 8-day forecast showing that we will be keeping those shower and storm chances through at least Friday, and then we start to see some clearing here for the weekend under partly cloudy skies with highs into the mid to upper 80s. Another slight chance of a shower or storm still possible as we head into early next week on Monday, but overall those highs mainly into the 80s, lows into the 60s.
In our morning Buzz Report, actress Ming-Na Wen received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. She's known for paving the way for Asian Pacific Islander actors. The honor comes at the end of the Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. She was joined by 3 Joy Luck Club co-stars at the ceremony. Among other credits over more than 3 decades, she's also known as the voice of the animated Mulan film.
Hi. I love you.
Thank you. The Scarlet Speedster gets a big screen adventure in The Flash. The long-awaited superhero flick features not 1 but 2 Batmen and speeds into theaters June 16th.
I never set out to become a horror icon. Something I wasn't planning. It's just something that happened.
Supernatural serial killer Freddy Krueger terrified generations of moviegoers through 8 Nightmare on Elm Street films. The new documentary, Hollywood Dreams and Nightmares, The Robert Englund Story, introduces audiences to the man behind the mask. The film examines actor Robert Englund's rise to fame and Freddy Krueger's transition from a boogeyman to a comedic character. It's available on Streambox and digital June 6th. Singer and songwriter Sia says she has autism. The 47-year-old is most well known for penning and performing mega hits like Chandelier. She's almost as famous for using wigs, hats, and other props to cover her face or refusing to face a camera or audience. Sia didn't specifically say that's due to her autism, but the condition can affect how people interact with others. The artist implied she's also known about her diagnosis for a couple of years. Freddy Krueger movie.
Yeah,
you said you were into that.
You know, I saw the Nightmare on Elm Street a few times, so that was a little
never
spooky.
Seen that.
Yeah, it's a little creepy. I'm not gonna lie.
I probably won't.
You
I
probably
don't.
won't. You're not into that type of genre, are you?
Not at all.
Okay. It's not for everybody.
Before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
All right, so we want to start off with Oliver today. He's turning 8. Oliver loves all things hunting and fishing and is looking forward to spending lots of time outside this summer.
Happy birthday, Oliver. If you know a special someone turning 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old soon, we'd love to feature them.
That's right. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button underneath the Home tab on our website.
Stay with us. We have everything you need to know today in 5 minutes or less. Your morning news now is up next. Time for your morning news now. Dozens of protesters rallied outside the La Crosse County Courthouse. They're calling for justice in the case of a 6-year-old Maderi boy found dead in his home in February. The protesters come as 31-year-old Josie Dykeman faces multiple charges, including intentional homicide for the death of young Alex Xavier Pedron. Pedron's grandmother organized today's protest and says more will come as the case moves through the courts.
It's not the first time around she's abused children, and it needs to stop. No other child should endure this or any type of abuse, and that's why we're going to keep his name alive. Justice for Alex Xavier.
District Attorney Tim Grunke says Dykeman has been charged with child neglect twice before. Dykeman is being held on a $1 million cash bond and is in court today for a preliminary hearing. A teen accused of first-degree intentional homicide appeared in La Crosse County Court because of a bond violation. 19-year-old Sage Hickey was on Zoom in court. According to online records, a citation was filed in Juneau County for underage drinking last Tuesday, and being in Juneau County was a violation of his bond conditions. Judge Elliot Levine warned Hickey during the hearing.
I'm glad it sounds like there's discussions going on, but until it gets resolved, you cannot violate these rules. I'm telling you one more time, if I see anything come across, it's going to likely issue a capias.
Hickey is accused of shooting and killing 15-year-old Storm Von Droschek last summer. Hickey claims it was self-defense. He's out on a $10,000 cash bond. La Crosse students were able to submit their works of art or writing for the first ever Never Again Reflection Contest, a contest that connects what students learn about the Holocaust with problems in the 21st century. The Maureen and Robert Freeland LPEF Fund awards grants to winners of the contest to help further their education. Robert Freeland says that by educating the younger generation about the Holocaust, he hopes it helps them become better people. The city of La Crosse is closing Cameron Park and Burns Park this week. The Parks Department says both parks will be closed 10 a.m. today through Friday for maintenance, cleaning, tree inspections, and park repairs. Cameron Park has especially seen an influx of people living unsheltered. City officials have given those people a 48-hour notice of the temporary closures. The Parks and Rec Director says the closures are necessary to keep the parks in the best possible shape.
These parts where we come in and have to close the park down and perform this maintenance is very necessary, not only for public health and safety, but you know, just to ensure that we're able to continue to do it in the future.
The department says they plan to open Cameron Park back up on Friday afternoon in time for the farmers market to go on as usual. The Cooley Region Humane Society has opened its doors for visitation so the public can join on their Pity Palooza. This week, the shelter is allowing people to come in and out to check available animals. During the Pity Palooza promotion, all pit bull-like dogs will be available at half the normal adoption fee. The Humane Society has 9 pitties ready for adoption right now and will have more by the time the promotion starts. Leaders say each dog is ready for a new home.
Some of our pit bulls that we have currently make great family dogs, great with kids, great with other animals. And then, you know, like any other breed, some of the pit bulls that we have right now do need more specialty homes, like to be the only dog in the home or an adult-only home.
The public is welcome to come see the pitties as well as other animals this week. Visitors can stop by from 1 to 4 in the afternoon. The visiting hours are temporary and will only run through Sunday. If you want to meet a dog one-on-one, you must submit an adoption application and make an appointment. If you're looking for a new adventure next weekend, Saturday and Sunday marks Wisconsin's annual Free Fun Weekend. Everyone can get into the state's 50 state parks and 15 state forests without a pass. You also don't need a fishing license during the 2 days. State parks and trails will be open from 6 in the morning to 11 at night. The DNR has more information about fishing clinics and regulations that will stay in place on its website.
And as you head out the door this morning, temperatures warming up into the 60s here in the next few minutes in some spots, and in the 70s by 9 o'clock, followed by the 80s this afternoon, all under mostly sunny skies. Very hot today as highs will climb to around 9 degrees by 5, and a slight chance of a shower or storm possible. As we head into your 8-day forecast, tomorrow a chance of showers and storms, and again on Friday with highs into the mid to upper 80s, partly cloudy skies for the weekend, and a slight chance of storms here heading into Monday of next week.
A high of 90. Wow.
Yep, sure is well above average for this time of year.
You don't need your umbrella, which we were kind of expecting.
Yeah, so we'll have to keep the umbrella chances handy for tomorrow and Friday as well.
But today we'll have some sun.
Yeah.
Thanks, Derek. And thank you for watching News 8 Now. Don't forget to keep up with the news of the day on news8000.com. We will have the latest updates to today's top stories on News 8 Now at noon. Have a great morning, everyone. Thank you for watching News 8.